Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So, today we are doing part 1 of my wrap-up. I read 31 books, I think, in February. So I need to split it up, because if not, we are going to be here for like an hour at least. So I'm just going to scoop over here so we can put up some pictures while I'm talking about these books. So I think I'm going to do 15 and then 16. So let's just start. So the first book I read was Defy Me by Tahara Mafi. And this is the 5th book in the Shatter Me series. So in this series we are following Juliet, and at the beginning she has this power that when she touches someone she can kill them. And basically she's put in this like asylum sort of thing. But then one day the re-establishment comes, and they offer her freedom and help her, kind of her, to help in the war. But basically Juliet, she has other plans when she gets out. So this is the 5th book. I just fly through these books, so I can't wait to continue on. And I gave these 5 stars. I really love this book, like these books, and yeah. Then we have All My Friends Are Dead, and this is a graphic novel. It's basically this really short, like, I don't know if I'm going to call it graphic novel or picture book. It's basically about this. First we have like this dinosaur that says that all my friends are dead, and it's just this humor book, and really short. I give it 4 stars. It really is like this dry humor that I don't think everyone will love. But my humor is dry, so yeah, I really did love this book. So 4 stars. The next book I read was Through the Looking Glass and What Alice Found There. So this is like the 2nd book in Alice in Wonderland, and I don't know what I'm going to tell about this book. It's just the 2nd one. We are still following Alice and other adventures that she's on. I gave it these 3 stars. I liked it, but I just felt like it was a little too confusing, like a little too whimsical. I just feel like there can be like a good whimsical that I don't understand, but then there are like whimsical that I kind of don't follow along with. Then I read Eating Animals, and this is my I think it's the only non-fiction I read this month. And basically the author kind of is he has been on different places to see how meat industry is kind of with the environment, and he kind of see how is the animal welfare in this, and a lot of different things. And what I have to say, I liked that this book wasn't like if you eat meat you are the most horrible person ever. He just says that maybe think about where you get your meat from, because animals are suffering places. So I gave this 5 stars. I really enjoyed this book, and yeah, it was really good. Then I read Awakens, and this is my Elise Kova book for the month. And basically in this one we are following this girl. I'm gonna call like every single one in this like girl, because I can't remember all the names that I read. But yeah, and basically something happens, and basically they find out that she can take, like, you have different elements. You have like fire, water, wind, and earth. Yeah, like the elements, and she is the only air. Kind of, she can play with air, I almost said. And yeah, it was really good. I don't know if I'm going to say too much about this book because, yeah, it was really good. I gave it 4 stars. So yeah, I definitely am going to continue on with this Air Awakens series. So yeah, things happen, and yeah, it's really good. Then I read All the Lights We Cannot See, and this is in 2 perspectives. The first one is this blind girl living in Paris, and the other one is a young kind of boy in Germany who is made a soldier in the war. And basically, the blind girl, her father takes her away, and basically in the museum he works with, they have this expensive, I don't remember what it was, like it was like a piece of something, if it's jewelry or something, but basically they make copies of this piece, and the museum owner, he keeps one and then sends 4, I think it's 4 or 3 different ones places, and the one that takes them don't know if this piece is the real one or not. So basically the father treats it like it's the real piece, and you don't know if it is or not. I gave this 4 stars. I really loved it. I like almost cried. So this is really hard-hitting, and yeah. The next was a reread for me, and that is Lessons in Corruption, and this is the first book in the Fallen Man series. And in this one we are following Cressida, and she is a teacher, and at the beginning of this book she basically separates from her husband because he can't please her anymore. And then at school, or before school starts, she meets King, and they kind of have a thing, and then King is her student, so it's kind of a student-teacher relationship. I mean, I really do love this. It's such a good series, and yeah, I just really love this. I don't think it's okay to date your teacher, though. Not at all. The next book I read was Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and basically we are following Chloe Brown, and she has fibromyalgia, and basically she kind of has a near-death experience, and she makes this list so she can get a life. And basically the there is a guy who works at the place where she lives as, like, I almost said, a handyman, and basically he will help her even though they have been bickering. So I don't know if I can call this kind of hate to love, because I don't feel like they hate each other. They have just misunderstood each other. I give this 5 stars. I really do like this. So I'm gonna say there is a miscommunication trope in here, but I'm gonna say that I feel like it's handled well, just because this is a miscommunication that I actually feel like could actually happen. And yeah, I really loved this book. 5 out of 5 stars. Then I reread Welcome to the Dark Side, which is the second book in the Fallen Man series. And in this one, we are following Lou. So you get an introduction in like her character, not much, but you get an introduction to her in Lessons in Corruption. And basically, Lou got. She has always been a good girl, but then she got cancer, and she has just figured out that she wants to try out the dark side, just because it might be her last time to do that. And she has been talking to Zeus Garrow, and he is the president of the MC Club. And he says that, okay, I will help you and try it out. So it's a romance between those. It's a huge age gap between those two. But I mean, me personally don't care about age gaps that much. It really depends on like the main character's age. But I usually can get aboard, and I mean, the age of consent here in Norway is 16, and for me it's really difficult if the character is like over 16, because I am so used to 16-year-olds being able to date whatever. But I know that some people might not be comfortable with this. She's 17 in this, but I mean, yeah, for me, doesn't matter. And then next is Blue is the Warmest color, and in this is a graphic novel. And I don't know how much I'm going to say about this book. It's basically about this girl, and she sees this blue-haired girl, and she later figures out that she likes girls. And yeah, I'm not going to say much more than that, because graphic novels are so short. I gave these 4 stars. I really did enjoy it, and yeah, I just feel like sometimes I just don't get that 5-star feeling. That is kind of this warm feeling that I just feel like this is such an amazing book. And I didn't get that, but it was still a really, really good book. The next book I read was Maybe in Another Life. And this book is a really cool concept. It's about this woman, and she moves back to, I think it might be California. Might be wrong though. But basically, on the day she is back, they go to this party. And there she is put up with 2 different choices that she can make. She can go home with her best friend and her husband, like the best friend's husband, and then she can also stay and kind of rekindle her romance with an ex called, I think his name is Ethan. And basically what you get a split in the story there. Basically it's what happens if she goes home with her best friend, and what happens if she stays with Ethan. And that concept is really cool. I gave this 5 stars. I loved it, and I kind of loved both storylines, and basically it's her finding happiness in both of them with different outcomes. The next book I read was Mistletoe and Mr Wright, and in this one we are following, is it Lana? And we met Lana in the first book. This is the second book in the Moose Springs series, if I'm not wrong. It's Moose Springs. And basically we are following Lana, and Lana is, her family is these rich people who kind of builds things. And Lana has like bought half of Moose Springs, and people are not that happy about it. And then she figures out that if I can basically tranquilize these Christmas moose, because the Christmas moose is kind of ruining Christmas for everyone with the moose don't like Christmas. So basically what happens is that she decides if she can tranquilize this, maybe the townspeople will like her more. And things go very wrong. She tranquilizes kind of a guy that is love interest. So it's just really, yeah, I give it 3 stars. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like the best thing I have ever read, but it was okay. Then I read Written with Regret. And in the beginning of this book, basically, there is this young girl that I don't remember the name of. I never remember names. That's my problem. Basically, she's at the mall with her parents and her twin sister. And basically there is a shooting, so both her parents are killed, but she's saved by this 15-year-old boy. And since then, she has really liked him, and basically he kind of helped her get out of what happened. But then, basically, this guy, years later, there is such a child outside his door, and basically the one night stand that he'd had made a baby, and now he is the soul taker of this kid. And then years later, this woman comes back. But things are definitely not as it seems. I really like this. I gave it 4 stars. I love this. There was some turns that I didn't see coming, and it was definitely good. Then I listened to The Mysterious Affairs at Styles. So this is the first book in the Hercules Poirot series. This is the first book Agatha Christie wrote. And it's basically about Hastings. And Hastings lives at a place called Styles, and there is a murder. So he knows Hercules Poirot and he gets help. And I give it 3 stars. I really liked it. And I mean, there's like Hercules, he knows what happened and why and everything, and then you are like, I have no idea how you got there, but it makes sense. So yeah, the last book I'm going to talk about is Into the Void, and this is kind of a story set away before the events that is happening in Star Wars. So I'm reading Star Wars books and I really like this. So in this one we are following a girl, and basically she must hunt down, she's a Jedi, and she must hunt down this guy that makes a mess, basically. And basically they figure out that it's her brother who is assumed dead. I gave this 3 stars. It was okay. It was just a little long, and I just felt myself skimming. So yeah, that was the part 1, and I hope you liked this, and I will see you for part 2 of this, which will come out in a few days. So I hope I will see you next time. Bye!